20. Made my first 100,000 at 23. Now who is he or who is she to speak on my name when you ain't me? Why they talking I'm overseas? Biggie Smalls when I move, it was all a dream. Keep on talking and talking and pump me up. Call me lucky, I guess I got dummy luck. Give it a play, and then this time, better believe he gon' it up. Hey, he might snitch on YouTube. Say that you was up and put that on YouTube. Why you always rapping about it that you do? Why you always rapping about it that you do? Hey, if it's up like that, it's up like that. If it's up like that, it's up like that.
Sometimes my feelings are
Tonight, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Taking on another team from the AF. See the Pittsburgh Steelers. And off we go from Las Vegas. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played. And his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you got the biggest game of your life to win.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. First carry for Najee Harris. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 52 yards.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? What the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on. Because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. Harris running straight ahead. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Now Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. Now Rodgers. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field. Incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is going to be incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They're going to look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. T.J. Watt drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks. in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So on 4th down, on is Brad Robbins to punt for the Bengals. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
To throw is Rodgers. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On play action, Rodgers. This is Smith with a grab. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Rodgers with a keeper. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 3-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 2 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And Boyd in motion right. There's a fake on the jet sweep and a run up the middle with Mixon. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On 2nd down, Burrow. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Oh, this is a great play right here by a very versatile linebacker. It's a zone defense, so he's responsible for one area of the field. And Brandon, I don't think the quarterback ever saw it. Or if he did, he saw him too late because he's...
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers directing traffic, going to change the play. Warren will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Throwing is Rodgers. This is caught. And give him a full 10 yards there, 2nd and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On the sneak, Rodgers. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only 2nd down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up 3rd down.
Harris, touchdown, Pittsburgh. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Boswell for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking.
Third and 2. Now Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Dumps it off to Mixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, Burrow. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the play up.
2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And again, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Rodgers now to throw. Catch is made by Metcalf. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Warren. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. To throw, it's Rodgers. A throw left side, caught by the tight end, Freiermuth. Touchdown! Pat Freiermuth from 8 yards out. And the Steelers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And a rout is on here in this first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or 2 there, but they do get him down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Here's Burrow. Finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. McPherson's kick is good, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing it to break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Final shot before half for Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And we will not see a return to start the half as this will be a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And right now their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That's the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Burrow once again here on 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there. They stop him short.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Rodgers. Got his man, it's Warren. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A handoff for Warren. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On play action, now Rodgers. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in this Super Bowl.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. That completes it again to Metcalf. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down and a yard. On the give, it's Warren. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. Only 3 points there, but I got to think at this point in the third quarter, that's all you're really looking for.
And right now the lead is 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. So you and I both know a huge order for the best of teams. And from what we've seen so far, hard to believe that that's a likely scenario. 3 two-point conversions? That's difficult.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals getting set to go. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
On second down, here's Mixon. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they go play action now. Burrow. Oh, great grab by Chase. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession. North of 20 yards.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Flush to his right. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. Now it's Burrow. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bengals are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Burrow and the Bengals offense staying put. They'll go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Get a look at DK Metcalf as this offense returns to the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right. Usually
it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Rodgers' throw hauled in by Washington. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Warren. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now it's 2nd and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Flushed out right. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Trey Hendrickson, his 2nd sack of the night.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Warren will try the right side. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, for his partner. Always great to be by your side. And both offenses, both defenses had some moments in this one, but I think you would agree these coaching staffs are also going to have some stuff to clean up on film.
Absolutely, partner. And let's face it, any game we get to watch from up here, it's going to be a blast. Do we want to get a real job? Absolutely not. Let's keep watching the NFL all season long.
And they are the Super Bowl champs. The Lombardi Trophy is theirs, and so are bragging rights for an entire season. And what a season it has been. Feels like we have been there every step of the way. Our entire crew doing a wonderful job. Thanks to my broadcast partner, Charles Davis. For all those guys, I'm Brandon Gaudin signing off. We'll talk to you next season right here on EA Sports.